Squiz Kids acknowledges the traditional owners of the lands on which we podcast, the Turrbal and Gadigal people.
Squiz Kids!
It's your daily news fix. Fun, free, fresh.
Hello and welcome to Squiz Kids Today, your fresh take on what's happening in the world around you. I'm Bryce Corbett. It's Monday, February 20. In Squiz Kids Today, threatened species back from the brink, Japan's shape-shifting robot, dog bites shark, and here comes Harry. That's what's making news, kid style.
The lowdown.
There was some good news at the weekend for no fewer than 29 of Australia's threatened species, after a team of academics declared conservation efforts were working and extinction was no longer on the cards for them. The burrowing bettong, the blue petrel, the southern cassowary and the humpback whale are among the species that were considered threatened but have pulled themselves back from the brink, thanks, according to the scientists, to us human helpers. Feral cats, pigs and foxes pose a major threat to lots of Aussie native animals. But, according to these scientists, thanks to the creation of sanctuaries, populations of threatened species are recovering. What's a sanctuary? In this case, a sanctuary is a fenced-off area keeping feral predators out. The scientists say that when humans put their minds to saving threatened species, it's amazing how effective we can be. They point to the laws that stopped the hunting of humpback whales, which has in turn seen their numbers in the wild go through the roof. I've stuck a link to the article in today's episode notes, which also features a super cute photo of a burrowing bettong. Because, I know since I mentioned it a couple of paragraphs ago, you've all been wondering exactly what it is.
Spin the globe.
Each day we give the world globe a spin and find a news story from wherever it stops. And today we've landed in China and the United States, where scientists have banded together to create a shape-shifting robot. I've stuck a link to a video in today's episode notes to show the robot in action. A solid figure looking a little bit like a Lego minifig in a mini jail, which manages to melt itself down using magnetic fields and slide between the bars of its cell. If you've ever seen the movie Terminator 2, you'll know what I'm talking about. The scientists said they hoped the shape-shifting robot could be used in medical procedures, including inside the human body, retrieving things that kids have accidentally swallowed, for example. And get this, they got their inspiration from sea cucumbers, which are big slug-like creatures that live on the ocean floor and can go from being limp and jelly-like to being rigid and solid. Amazing.
Animal Kingdom.
And because it's a Monday, it's an Animal Kingdom doubleheader today. Starting with the dog who took on a shark in the Bahamas, a country in the Caribbean. Tourists were horrified and amazed in equal measure when a plucky pooch saw a massive hammerhead shark in the water last week and jumped in to attack it. Yes, the dog decided to take on the hammerhead. Happily, as the video in today's episode notes shows, the hammerhead realised it was facing off with a heroic hound and turned tail and scampered. Foolhardy dog 1, hammerhead 0. Meanwhile, everyone at a zoo in the United States is going gaga after the birth of a baby pygmy hippo. Petunia, the pygmy hippo, was born back in December, but has only just gone on display at the Metro Richmond Zoo. Not only is she the cutest thing you'll see on the internet today, she is also part of a global zoo program to save the pygmy hippos from extinction. With experts estimating there are only 2,500 pygmy hippos left in the wild, the conservation of this precious animal species rests on the tiny shoulders of Petunia and others like her. Whoa, there goes the Classroom Companion Clarion, reminding us that today's Classroom Companion worksheets are tied to this news item in the podcast. Squiz Kids' very own teacher person, Christy, has come up with some fun activity sheets for all ages and all ability levels. If you're a teacher and you haven't already signed up to receive these free classroom resources, do yourself and the kids in your world a favour and head to squizkids.com.au now to do so.
Pop Culture Corner.
You won't be able to move this week in Australia for English pop stars as Ed Sheeran continues his multi-city stadium tour around the country, and the one and only Harry Styles brings his world tour to our shores. Ed has been earning rave reviews from audiences and critics alike for his show, which even had the God of Thunder himself, Chris Hemsworth, in the audience in the Brizzy show on Friday night. Meanwhile, Harry Styles fans have taken over Perth as the pop star prepares to start his Aussie tour there tonight. Harry Mania is expected to sweep Melbourne, Queensland and Sydney as the Grammy Award winner plays to sell out crowds across the country. Rock and roll!
Time for the quiz.
This is the part of the podcast where you get to test how well you've been listening. Question number 1. What sort of shark did a dog try to take on in the Bahamas? Yeah, that's right, it was a hammerhead shark. Question number 2. What's the name of the newborn pygmy hippo? Yeah, you got it, it's Petunia. Question number 3. Name the 2 British pop stars on tour in Australia this week. Of course, they're Ed Sheeran and Harry Styles.
Shout-outs.
It's February 19. The BAFTA Awards take place in London today. They're Britain's film and TV awards. And it's also Rihanna's birthday today. Her Super Bowl halftime show has just clocked up over 64 million views on YouTube. What? It's also a special day for these Squiz Kids celebrating a birthday today. Darcy from Barclayvale, Camden from Montmorency, Teddy from Bustleton, Tommy from Warrnambool, Sebastian from Wandon North, Marcus from Middle Harbour, Archie from Mount Waverley, Georgia from Albury, Isaac from Narrandera, Orson from the Northern Beaches, Riley from Oyster Bay, Bobby from Brisbane, Audrey from Redfern, Louisa and Abby from Sydney, and Gustavo, who's listening all the way over there in Mexico. Hola, Gustavo. And belated birthday wishes go to Braxton, Raphael and Gus from Sydney, Riley from Bangor, Zara from the Northern Beaches, Matilda from Wagga Wagga, Chelsea from Sutherland, and Ari, who's listening all the way over there in Atlanta in the United States. And finally, classroom shout-outs today go to 3K and Mrs. Morley Davies at Floraville Public School, Class 5-6H and Miss Haley at Portland North Primary School, Room 17 and Mrs. Potter at Bellevue Heights Primary School in Adelaide, and a thank you to Miss Fife at All Saints College in Maitland for being the best science teacher ever. Don't forget, if you've got a birthday coming up and you want a shout out, or if you're after a classroom shout out, drop us a line at squizkids@thesquiz.com.au or fill out the form on our website. Well, that's all we have time for. Thanks for listening to Squiz Kids today. We'll be back again tomorrow. In the meantime, get out there and have a most excellent day. Over and out.